Hi everybody, I'm Gary Sinise.
And I'm Joe Mantegna, and we are at...
We are at the National Memorial Day concert right here in front of the Capitol in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, we're going to give you a little bit of a tour, and we have our friend Liz to help us. Come here, Liz.
Hi guys, I do the social media and I've been getting your questions on Facebook.
Great.
So you guys want to answer a question?
Sure, let's go.
Okay, our first question is from Beverly. She wants to know what the National Memorial Day concert means to y'all personally.
Well, this is very special to be here with Joe, first of all. Joe got me involved back in 2005, invited me to come and actually play here with my band on this stage in front of this massive crowd, and then the following year they asked me to come and co-host with Joe. We've been doing it ever since, and I just wouldn't miss it for the world.
It's my 15th year doing this and my 11th year co-hosting with the greatest fan, supporter, and advocate for our United States military that exists today, my dear friend Gary Sinise. So here we are, National Memorial Day concert. We should take a tour so you see what this looks like.
Come on over here, we'll show you what it looks like. That's the orchestra over there, so that's where they're going to be. Big National Symphony Orchestra with Jack Everly as our conductor, our maestro, and then we turn around.
Check this out. When you see this helps you understand why we do what we do. Because if this doesn't kind of grab your heart a little bit. Now imagine tomorrow night there's going to be 250,000 people out. And this is just a dress rehearsal.
Yeah, tonight the dress rehearsal, we might have 50,000. I don't know, small crowd.
Yeah, Dodger Stadium size.
I think I see our executive producer, Michael Colbert. I think he has some news for
there's
us.
Michael Colbert.
Oh no, he just happened to be
Joe.
standing.
How are
How are you, pal? Hey, Gary.
Hi.
So I got some good news.
Okay.
Not only are we going to be able to watch the show live nationwide on PBS, we're also going to be around the world to all our troops on the American Forces Network.
Great.
But we're going to stream the show for the first time ever on pbs.org on the internet, and so it's going to reach the biggest audience of all time.
So those
we're really
of you who know what
excited about
streaming is, you go ahead and stream it.
Here we go, guys. Thanks.
Great.
Thanks, Michael. Make sure you tune in tomorrow night on PBS, 8 o'clock PBS, and stream and all of that.
Yeah.
We're going to be everywhere tomorrow.
Yeah, just go to pbs.org and check your local affiliates because it's different times around the country, and they rerun it sometimes too.
And my favorite view of the Capitol is down from the bottom of the V.
Okay,
Should
let's
we
go
show
down
them?
there. Yeah.
Come this way.
Yeah. So you can see the Capitol's still a little bit under construction. They say by inauguration day that it'll be done, and it's just going to be just awesome.
And we have another question in. This question is from Betty, and she wants to know, when you're in DC, what are your favorite things to do?
Gosh, one of my favorite things to do is, I'm sure one of Joe's favorite things to do, every summer at the Marine Corps Barracks at 8th and I.
I was there last night.
Yeah, Joe was there last night. They have the Marine Corps Band and the Marine Corps Silent Drill Team. It's a big parade. It's a big show that they do every Friday night throughout the summer. So in the summers, I know I speak for Joe, we both love going to that.
Well,
It's
a few years ago, they honored Gary at one of the Friday night parades. A few years after that, they honored me at one of those parades. And I tell you, as you know, when you're standing there and you have a few hundred Marines going by in precision march, and they snap their head to look at you because you're being honored that night, it's one of those moments in your life you never, ever forget.
Wow.
Yeah, just fantastic. It's that parading by and eyes right, looking at you with the swords and everything.
Yeah,
it's just magnificent.
And these are America's finest. I mean, that's the real reason why we're here. Gary and I, both of us, didn't have the opportunity to serve our country in uniform. And so really, part of the reason we're here is, we hope is our way of giving back as much as we can. So we're just so proud and so dedicated to our military.
Well, we think you're doing a wonderful job.
Thank you.
Another question just came in. This one is from Tammy. She wants to know if you guys had any Memorial Day family traditions growing up.
Gosh, no, we would, I remember Memorial Day like many people, as the barbecue, as the 3-day weekend, as a lot of, fun. We were off from school, and we would go to the, I grew up in Highland Park, Illinois. There was a parade, so we would attend the parade. But much beyond that. The veterans in my own family, and I've got my father, my two uncles, and my grandfather all served. They were well beyond their service when I was old enough to kind of think of anything. So they never talked about it too much. They would go to a parade occasionally, but not talk about their service too much.
But
And,
and you're right. I think that, in a way, also is part of the reason, because we both, in a way, we weren't part of those families that had loved ones who were lost, were killed, and so Memorial Day was something we almost had to discover through other means. And in a way, it's like being a born-again Christian. You sometimes appreciate a little more when it comes to you a little bit later,
Right.
because it's something you maybe took for granted early on, and then you realized this is a holiday that's allowed you to have every other holiday in this country, and allows us to kind of honor those who allow us to live in a country like this.
I would second that. It did absolutely come a little bit later to me, not only from my side of the family, but from my wife's side of the family, who were Vietnam veterans. And so later in life, I started to recognize, and then after September 11th, started to get very, very active with efforts that were trying to remind the country that we had people serving. And one of those things that we do every year is right here at the Capitol. This concert goes out to millions of people, and it's a great way to remind people that what Memorial Day is all about. It's not the barbecue and the beach and all those things, although the men and women who fought and that we honor today sacrificed for those things, but Memorial Day is our day to cherish the
That's
memory
right.
of those who've sacrificed.
So enjoy that holiday, enjoy your 3-day weekend, but if you can carve out 90 minutes to watch this concert, you'll understand why you have that 3-day weekend.
So I think we have time for one more question.
Okay.
And this one comes from Jack. He wants to know, in the 11 years that you guys have been co-hosting, what has been your favorite memory or your favorite moment on the show?
The next one.
Yeah. It's every year we say, hey, that was the best show we've
Yeah,
ever done,
I think
and then next year we say the same
I
thing.
think one thing we both look forward to, and I love it, the fact, because Gary usually announces it, when he stands up there and asks everyone in this multitude of 250,000 people, we're going to play your service song, and as you hear your song, please stand up. And to look out in that crowd, and then they start with the Coast Guard and go through the Army, the Navy, the Marines, the Air Force, and you see a lot of times wounded warriors getting to their feet and standing there with pride, listening to their song as their color guard marks on stage. That's something we do every year, and something that never gets old.
Yeah, one of the great moments of the show, later in the show.
Just get goosebumps thinking about it.
I'd say something that was very special to Joe and I, too, that we got to share. Joe's Uncle Willie served in World War II in Patton's Army. My Uncle Jack served on a B-17 over Europe in World War II. And we would bring both those men together in the last years of their lives each year to spend this Memorial Day with us. They both passed away within the last couple of years, and we miss them both dearly, and we often think about them when we come here. It was always a very special thing to share with family, and I know that's very important to Joe as well.
That's right.
Well, that's wonderful. Thank you guys so much for doing this Facebook Live for us. Thank you guys for submitting your questions. And when can they watch the show?
Sunday night, 8 o'clock, live from the West Lawn of the Capitol. Check your local PBS station for other times across the country, and also gets rerun too. Check pbs.org.
Thanks very much, everybody.
Thanks.